Music by D-U-D-E.
Speak Black to Me. Speak Black to Me, a dynamic space of black discourse where we engage in the process of elevating and transforming the mind.
And I remember when COVID started, the late president of Tanzania said that Africans have medicine to cure COVID, but because it was not proven by American scientists or Western scientists, so those medicines are useless. The World Health Organization would never recognize those herbs. And that they would never have a child. And I said to them, that is not in Africa, especially in the Gambia. We have ways to treat those barren women, and they get lucky. They conceive child. That we took them to spiritual places to pray. We got herbs that we use in medicine, traditional medicine they can use. You know, probably the problem is not lies on the women only. Perhaps it's in the man too. So both men, the couples can took those herbs or traditional healers, and they can treat them, and they will be successful. And I have seen it many, many times. And we went to visit an old woman somewhere around Serekunda. She made these traditional herbs for barren women to take. And these are most of the people that their hospitals will tell them completely that they would never conceive. But after taking these medicine from these old women, and a year later they conceive a child. Are we not ready to take the chance that we have in Africa? We got everything here. Is that because we don't want to recognize that? And when these people came, after all the studies, they have to take some of these medicine back in their labs and study it. And they sent me a message. They wrote to me that people in Holland are very much interested of those herbs. So perhaps, who knows, in the next 20, 15 years, they're going to come back to take those herbs and go and develop them and to be a medicine that sent into Africa. We have to pay prices. This is why we still yet to have full dose of COVID-19 vaccine in Gambia. We still they say the poorest country, the richer country has to help the poor, because we have left what we have. So we're depending on them. So they're only going to choose the time they want us to be vaccinated, and that will be time when we will be vaccinated. When they no needs. The only thing is, everything is in Africa. We have to come back home.
Thank you for everything that you shared, because this is what we talk about when we say a speak black to me moment, is that when you speak a truth of a people, you speak of a truth of a history of a population, you spoke about how we have been led astray by Western thought, we've left our traditions, and we begin to honor somebody else's reality, and we are destroyed by it. You said that when we honor who we are on our own journey, we're able to ascend and to recognize our true potential, and that we have everything that we need in this space. You said that we've been brainwashed, so to speak. We've been led to believe that the oppressor is our greatest friend, and in reality, that you said that is our greatest enemy. And we recognize then that there's no enemy within. The enemy without can do us no harm. And so we have the internal enemy of our mind. So speak black to me. It's everything that you spoke about. Is there anything that you would like to share to give us more clarity around what it is that we should do to be able to honor who we are in a much more fuller way? You said, first of all, children must respect their parents. You mentioned the values of how children speak to the elders. You mentioned the value of engaging. Are there things that we should think about as elders towards the children, that we don't do, that we're missing as a cultural reality?
I think that is where I say that all the elders too are responsible for all the children at a particular village or towns or communities that we are wherever we come from. That means all the elders have right to correct the children when they see doing anything that is wrong. Absolutely. And you know, before in Africa, we do not have police stations across the corners of our village or towns. We have rural policing. That's the chief of the village. That's the commonly known as alcalos. Will oversee the village, and he has his own elders of council. That if something goes beyond to the control, you go to the alcalos home to discuss this matter. It's like you're going to court, and that the alcalo and the elders of council will deal with the situation maturely and professionally. And these are the people that never sit in the classroom before, and they have the brain to do that. And today, in my generation, we've been to school, and we said we are educated, but still we got more problem than before. And we still got questions to ask ourselves. Are we on the right track, or we missed our way? The answer is straightforward, that we have missed our way. Because we now on the part of those that are not in our line, the same line with us, because they do not have culture, they do not have home training, and they do not have, as I said to you, earlier in my speech, I said, they brought democracy to us. But remember, democracy means different things to different people. In Africa, we do not have a type of a democracy that we say to our elders, you are lying. We can't tell our parents, stop lying, mom, stop lying, daddy. We can't do that. So they brought a kind of a democracy that we accept today, that our people were not accepting before. That's why we have more problem today than those people in there. And they live unique. And they share love and respect to one another. You cannot have love when you have no respect for people. And there cannot be respect when there is injustice. If there is injustice, you lose moral. Everything will go off. And everything will be shut wide. And today, why our brothers and sisters are killing one another for nothing? And when we all know that we have limited time to live on this earth, do we need to kill one another? No. Do we need to be fighting all the time in the neighborhood? Do we need to disrespect one another? It doesn't make sense at all. So that's why I say the elders' responsibility is to correct the children. But not only to correct them, you have to feel for them, because children are very special. They're special. They're a natural gift from God. That's why our women go struggle when they become barren. And they got married 2 years without child, they get confused, they got mad. Because that is the gift, a golden gift that you want to look up. You want to stay in poverty, but you want to play with your child. So without the children, there's no image for any one of us. Because when one dies with no child, that's it. But we look one another after our children to remember one another when we saw our late ones and we saw their children, that we never forget our late ones. But sometimes the circumstances of life will make us to forget even to pray for our loved ones. So this becomes the reason why children are valuable asset for everyone. So with that valuable asset, we need to help to correct those children, not to give them love and right teaching. So that's what the elders do in the community. They give love. If you are the elders of a compound or a house with different brothers, with old children there, you're not allowed to get a packet of biscuit for your own kids when the older kids are there. You can't do that. That's not right. That's not justice. That's not love for the kids. If you know you have only one packet of biscuit and it will not be enough for the rest of for the older children, you don't share it among them. Because if another kids don't have, he or she gonna cry. And you will be the cause of the crime. Do we want to see our children suffer? No. So the elders, this is their responsibility to do, is to give love, to teach the children from bad to good, and to be responsible when they're growing up. The responsibility is first, we must feel the pains of our parents. We must know the house that we come from, and we must always have to be there for our parents. We have to be there for all the elders of the village.
Minding our business. That is our business, to mind the business of the community, not just minding our own business. Thank you. Anything else? Any other questions? I know that he has said a lot. He said a lot about following the alien ways and how we get lost in that. Any questions or thoughts that you have? So I really want to go back and hit the part about you mentioned again values, culture, and how we lose that in education. And that's critical to know that when the oppressor teaches us, then they become the victors and we become the victims. But when we tell our own narrative, we come from a position of strength, then we are always victorious. So thank you again for taking out the time to come and to share, and we will keep pressing the voice of our people to speak black and not speak anything else other than that. So thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
All right.
All right. Thank you.